Hello everyone and welcome back to another Transperth news video. Yes, it's been so long since I did one. Again, the first one I did just talking in front of the camera, but I'm not doing that for these anymore. I always just do it on my computer screen. It's very handy. Anyway, it is the 1st of November, as you can see. I'm filming this pretty late, but anyway, we are only 20 days away from the Armadale Line shutdown, which is just insane. I can't believe how close we are now. And then we're gonna have this line gone. So obviously you can go on the Transperth website. You've got all the information out there. I've already made lots of community posts about it. Everything, the free travel, the new bus routes. I made a whole video on that, 45 minutes. So did Justin. Both of us, the 45 minutes, because there's so much to explain. So I'm not going to be going through that at all. But I will be going through a lot of other exciting news things, which just random things which are happening. So this is probably going to end up being half an hour long again, but let's just get straight into it. So first things first, there were a lot of changes with the last services for Armadale Line shutdown. So I know I made a community post, but I'm just going to quickly mention it in case you didn't see that. So yes, here we go. Here's the community post. I put all this information in. So the last train to Thorney is now 9:22 p.m. from Perth on the 19th, and then it will do a return service, or maybe a different train will do it, but 9:50 p.m. from Thorney. Meanwhile, the last Armadale Line train has been moved to 1:02 a.m., which is pretty bad, but yeah. And then we have the 661 last service, also going to be around 9 to 10 p.m. on that day, and last Australian 5:55 p.m. on the 17th. I'll try to go on as many of these things as I can. The only thing I probably won't be able to get on is the last 661, but I will film it on that last day, probably, but one of the stadium bound trips at 5 or so o'clock. Anyway, you can see all the information here, and if you go to Journey Planner, events here, events, and you click on where is it? Here, Coldplay concert. We have, I don't know why, I think it's because Coldplay is focused on offsetting CO2 emissions, so they made this whole story here about how much emissions will be made, and there's a pledge. Click to pledge that you will take Transperth. Yes, I will. That is the last day of the Armadale Line shutdown. Last day of the Armadale Line, so definitely. And then here it says train, and yeah, you can see last train to Armadale is 2:20 a.m. on Saturday 18th of November, and it's 107. Oh no, I think it's from the stadium. 107, 102 from Perth. Pretty sure, should be, maybe not, but around then. Sunday 19th of November, and then Thorney Line is cancelled. Yep, as I was saying. And all the other normal stadium trains and buses will be running, because this is a really major event. People are flying from the eastern states to see it, so it's quite significant. They need a lot of services for that. Anyway, that's one thing. Now, done with Armadale Line shutdown for now. Second thing, we have another crazy event happening. This MSWA Ocean Ride. Special event early morning trains will be operating from specific stations to get you to North Fremantle Station. Oh yes, this is crazy. So look at this. So basically what this is it's a cycling event where they do lots of different distances of cycling, up to 140 kilometers I think it is, from North Fremantle to many different places. And it's really early in the morning, so they have special express trains to get people there. Although the problem is this full of cyclists, right? Everyone has their bike, so stopping at every station will take so long with all the cyclists coming in at every station with their bikes, and it will be so slow. So instead, it stops at very limited stations, and then the cyclists need to go to those stations to get on, and then it's much faster. So if we take a look, it's actually crazy. Look at this. Joondalup Line will be going to Fremantle. Yes, I'm not even joking. Joondalup Line trains will operate from Joondalup Station, express to Greenwood Station. The Greenwood. I guess they're trying to stop at every third or second station, but it's so weird. Not Whitford or Warwick. Yes, Greenwood. Okay, express to Stirling, express to Perth, then the driver switches ends or something, or goes to the siding, switches ends, then express to Claremont, then express to North Fremantle, and then it also goes to Fremantle to terminate. But here it just lists up to North Fremantle because that's where everyone's actually getting off. It's just going to Fremantle to terminate. And then, so there's actually 4 trains doing this. They're all very early on, but I will try to go on them. 4:24 a.m. I'll try to go on the first one, hopefully. 4:44 a.m., 5:04 a.m., 5:24 a.m. on the 12th of November. And then we only have one service on the Mandurah line, 4:40 a.m., 4:44 a.m., Cockburn Central, express to Bull Creek, express to Elizabeth Quay. Then not even stopping at Perth, because the Joondalup line is already covering that at the main station, and the underground one is probably closed at this time. Then express to Claremont, then express to North Fremantle, as you can see. And then we have Fremantle line trains, which will also be running lots of extra services from Perth, 4:54, 5:14, 5:24, 5:34, 5:44, 5:54, express to Claremont, then express to North Fremantle, and then Fremantle. And there's also this random service starting at Claremont, not at Perth. What? Literally just Claremont to North Fremantle and Fremantle. Okay then, sure. So that's going to be a weird one. Now, obviously, these can't be 6-car because North Fremantle is not a 6-car platform, so it's just going to be 3-car or 4-car, I guess, on Fremantle line. And unfortunately, Midland Airport line is closed this weekend, and I think this upcoming weekend right now it's closed, and the next one is closed. 2 weekend closures in a row for Ellenbrook Line Works, so no express services there. And there seems to be nothing on the Armadale Thorney line either, even though it's still open at this time. Okay, now actually I just went into the web archive and I've opened up last year's MSWA Ocean Ride event, which was on the 20th of November. So yes, it did actually happen last year as well. However, no one actually noticed or paid any attention, I guess, that it was happening, and we didn't know about these crazy services, but we found them this year. But I do think the years before this it wasn't happening because of COVID. But look, last year was even more crazy. Just a quick look. Services were starting at Butler, so the whole Joondalup line. But again, express to Joondalup, then the same pattern. Express to Greenwood, express to Stirling, express to Perth, and then just straight express to Fremantle, not North Fremantle, and not stopping at Claremont either, which means here they could have run 6-car trains, and they probably did. And that's because the event was actually starting closer to Fremantle station. This year it's at North Fremantle, so it's completely different. And there was only 2 trains. And then Mandurah line did the same thing, just this also stopped at Perth and not Claremont. Again, it could have been 6-car. Then there was also a Midland line express because it was open, only Midland Bassendean Perth. And then Armadale line express as well, only Armadale Kelmscott Cannington Perth, no Thorney line. And Fremantle line, normal stuff, Perth, Claremont, Fremantle, but again only 1 train. So overall there was only 6 trains, as you can see. And this year there's a lot more. There's 4 Joondalup line, 1 Mandurah line, and then like 6 Fremantle lines. So there's actually more this year, just not on all the lines. And there's also nothing on Airport line, even though this was over a month after its opening. But yeah, that was last year. Anyway, that's irrelevant now. Unfortunately, I didn't film that. This year I will try to film it. So this is a crazy, crazy event. See if we go here on the Joondalup line timetable. And we go on the 12th of November, and we go to very early on. We can flip the journey around, and we get Joondalup to Fremantle Station, which is just so cursed. And we can see the map here. Joondalup, and stops it here, and then just randomly turns around and goes down. And then same thing for Mandurah line. If we go to that date, which is so funny because you know when they have the Heritage Line shutdowns and only Fremantle line is operating, and then it goes to Perth Underground and it actually runs express to Cockburn. I always said it should just stop all stops to Cockburn and like do a big U shape. Now that's sort of what's happening. Here's the map. We have a big U shape starting at Cockburn all the way up to Perth, then down to Fremantle. Look at that. Whoop. That's so funny. And not even stopping at Perth, like what? An express through Perth, that's crazy. Like non-stop Elizabeth Quay to Claremont. Imagine they had announcements from this. This train runs from Cockburn Central to Fremantle, stopping at Bull Creek, Elizabeth Quay, Claremont, North Fremantle, and Fremantle. They probably couldn't say anything else, because otherwise they just keep saying then express to. Or Joondalup line, this train runs from Joondalup to Fremantle, stopping at Greenwood, Stirling, Perth, Claremont, North Fremantle, and Fremantle. Anyway, yes, I will be filming that 4 a.m. on that day, but that's okay. no problem there. I'll still do it. It's like similar to Bayswater when I woke up, and it's crazy to see that. So yeah, that's that. Now, moving on. Next thing. Another really interesting thing. New trans-regional, yes, here we go on the PTA website, trans-regional. There is, attention everyone. No, seriously, this is crazy. I love this so much. Attention everyone. There is a new trans-regional service which will be operating in Mandurah and connecting with Trans-Perth services. Wow! Yes, this is actually amazing. This is basically the main point of this video actually. So, from 21st November this year, so 3 weeks time, the day after Armadillo Line shuts down, there will be a new service operating on a 12-month trial between Waroona, Coolop, Pinjarra and Mandurah. Only on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but not public holidays. Now, this is just crazy, so we're going to get Google Maps over here. So if we look down here, we obviously have Mandurah, and we have Dawesville and Bouvard, and the furthest you can currently go with non-Trans-WA public bus services is this stop right here in Bouvard. That's the furthest south. So yeah, now if we draw a line across, see, it's just slightly south of Pinjarra. Now this new route, which, okay, it's not part of Trans-Perth, but it's still like a Trans-Perth bus, like the same type of thing. It's just a trans-regional bus, like they have in Bunbury and Busselton and Bridgetown and Geraldton and Karratha and like so many other towns. But look how much further down it goes. This basically is the end of Zone 9 right here. And then it keeps going, stops here in Coolop, very small town, and keeps going down Southwestern Highway to Waroona here. And then terminates. So look how much further down this is. Yes, it's like, if we pull this down, we can see it's like, oops, in line with like Lake Clifton here. So you're almost at Bunbury. Bunbury's down here. So it's really crazy. You're like 50 kilometers from Bunbury basically once you're there. Just a bit over 50. And it's somewhat similar distance up to Mandurah. 40. See, you're like almost halfway to Bunbury. So that's pretty insane. Now, this is a trans-regional service, so we can look at the timetable over here. Scroll here. Here's the timetable. It's a very weird one. So it's only once a day. It's only 2 times a week. Departing Waroona, Quamby Park. So let's try to look for that. Quamby Park in Waroona is... hang on, I might just search it up. Oh, sorry, I thought it was a park. No, it's actually a retirement home, so that makes sense. Stopping outside of a retirement home here, Quamby Park. So that's departing 9 a.m. Then Waroona Senior Citizen Center, so another old person's home, which is Waroona Senior Citizen Center. Here, I guess. Probably. So yeah, just a little bit down the road. And then, actually, let's just pull this up on the side here. And we can see like that on the side. And then we have 2 more minutes. Woonora Southwestern Highway, Waroona Hotel. So I think that's just out here on Southwestern Highway. And then after that, or maybe it might be up here, Dalesbrook Hotel. No, I don't know. It says The Sofa. I'm not sure. Somewhere around here. And yeah. So note that, look, the only shop that Waroona has is an IGA. There's no other major shop here. And an IGA Express at a petrol station. So yeah. That's why shopper bus service. Yeah, I'll talk more about that in a second. So then after that, the bus runs express up Southwestern Highway all the way, very fast, to Coolop here, very small town, which just has this tiny shop, not even an IGA. Stops here, I guess. Yep, somewhere, Community Hall, Murray Street, so like just out here, I guess. And then that's 916, then does a U-turn, then continues up through on the Southwestern Highway and gets to Pinjarra, 9:30 North Pinjarra Shops. I don't know exactly where that is, but somewhere up here, and then Pinjarra Shire's office. Don't know exactly where that is either. Oh, right here in the middle. So right here in the middle, Pinjarra Shire office. So yeah, then this is basically acting like the 600, but then after this it's express. Well, I don't know. Are these just time stops, or are these all the stops? It's probably all the stops, since it lists all three in Waroona. So I think it's all the stops. So then that means non-stop all the way along Pinjarra Road where the 600 goes, but then it turns in early to go to Peel Health Campus where the 598 goes. From the recent video I just posted, does a weird loop through here. It's going to stop there. And then in only 4 minutes, it's going to quickly go across, none of this looping up here where the 598 goes, to Mandurah train station. But it doesn't terminate there. So it gets to Mandurah train station 9:57, so that means it only takes 57 minutes from Waroona to Mandurah station. And then 3 more minutes, Mandurah Central. I don't exactly know what that means, because then the next stop says Mandurah Forum, which is the actual shopping center. So then it gets to Mandurah Forum shopping center. And then one more stop, 15 minutes apparently, express all the way through the Mandurah metro area to Halls Head Central shops over here. Halls Head Central. And then that's it. Terminates there at 10:20 a.m. so 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then the bus will sit there for 2 hours and 35 minutes until 12:55 p.m. I guess. The driver just goes shopping as well or something. Or it'll go to like Mandurah Depot and wait, or I don't know. Anyway, so basically the whole service is collecting people from the town of Waroona and Coolab and Pinjarra, I guess, although they could take the 600, which I have seen before. A lot of old people take the 600 from Pinjarra to Mandurah to go shopping in major shops. And then they can get off at the health campus if they need medical attention, or the train station if they want to go to the city and they just want to be connected, or they can continue to Mandurah Shopping Center or Halls Head Shopping Center, which is why it's called Shopper Bus Service, to give all those old people living down here access to some proper shopping facilities up in Mandurah. And so the bus waits for 2.5 hours, and then it departs again 12:55 from Halls Head, or 1:10. Oh, what was this? It goes to Mandurah Central first, then Mandurah Forum, which is the same order as in this direction. Okay, that's weird. I don't understand that. That's a bit of a weird route then, but okay. 1:13 at Mandurah Forum, unless it's an error. But that means at Mandurah you basically get over 3 hours to shop from 10 to 1 p.m., 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that's good. Then you get on Mandurah Forum, then it goes back to Mandurah train station, departing at 1:20 p.m. And then Mandurah Health Campus, Peel Health Campus 1:25. Then again, same thing, express down to Pinjarra Community Hall, Waroona. Arrives 2:40 p.m. at the last stop, which actually in this direction it takes significantly longer. I'm not sure why. You can see that it takes in this direction 2 hours. No, not 2 hours. Sorry, 1 hour and 45 minutes to complete the journey. While in the other direction it's only 1 hour 20. I don't know how it's 25 minutes slower in that direction, but whatever. That's a very long trip. And even with this very long trip, look at the value for money. It is the same fares as Transperth, exactly the same. Well, I don't know what this is, 2 to 9 zones. I mean, I think the fact that it's saying 9 zones on here means that this will be integrated with the Transperth fare system, because that route itself obviously won't have 9 zones. But that means they're going to have to make new zones, because every zone is only 8 to 10 kilometers long. So zone 9 ends around the bottom of Boulevard. We go about 10 kilometers down, it's over here, so that'll be zone 10 then, the first 2-digited zone, which has Coolab in it. And then another 10 kilometers down, over here, around here, this, just cutting right through Waroona, which means that would be zone 11. Yes, correct. So I'm not sure if they do make a separate fare system, it won't work like that, and you'll have to pay twice, which is going to be so weird. Pay on the Perth services and Mandurah services, then pay on the Waroona services. But I don't think so, because I think if you go to Bunbury and Perth in the same day, it's also integrated. It counts as the same fare. So it shouldn't be like that. Which means, since it is connected to Mandurah, we're actually going to get Zone 10 and 11. And it's going to be now way further south than before. And you can go all the way down here by bus into really far away zones, which is just amazing. I love this so much. I don't know how well used it's gonna be, but like shopper service, I guess the old people want somewhere better to shop, so twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday, they can go do that. Now, I'm very lucky because my Year 11 ATAR exams are starting in a few days' time, and then they will be running until the 16th of November, which is just the day before the last Australian. Then I can take the last Australian train, enjoy the weekend with the last Armadale Line train, and then on the 20th I can film all the new bus routes for the Armadale Line shutdown, or most of them at least. And then 21st we now have this event when I'm still off school. I do have to go back on Wednesday though to look through the exams, and Thursday and Friday, but then after that I'm done, so much free time then. But I'm just saying it's the perfect gap in between, and this is on a good day as well, Tuesday. So I will be taking the first service, well, the first outbound service. I cannot get to Waruna at 9 a.m. I would have to leave home at like 5 and drive, or like 6, just no. But I will take the first outbound service. So 12:55 p.m. from Halls Head, I will be going to do that. And I'll take the whole trip and see how it goes. Now you might be asking, how will I get back from Waruna? Well, Waruna is actually a Trans-WA station, if you didn't know. It is the next stop after Pinjarra on the Australind, which I took last time to Pinjarra. Over here, Waruna, and you can see Australind, normal Trans-WA station. But obviously, Australind will be gone after Armadale Line shutdown, so I'm going to have to take train replacement coach. And if we look at train replacement coach, I haven't showed you this before. Here is the timetable for the Australind train replacement coach. So they will be having 2 coaches. The morning service they are going from East Perth Terminal now, not Perth Station. So they have the morning service, which is numbered A3, A meaning all stops, and then this one is AX3 for express. So they both leave at 8:30, but then the all stops go straight to Armadale, and then stops all the stations to Bunbury, like the train does. While the express service runs non-stop to Kwinana station, which is quite useful because you can see that takes 40 minutes. So instead of going to Perth and then to East Perth, then getting on the bus, you can just go straight to Kwinana with the train and then get on the bus there, and it's probably cheaper. Maybe not, but yeah. And then runs non-stop, because straight along the Kwinana freeway, all the way to Waruna. Yes, Waruna is then the first stop after Kwinana on that express service, and then all stops the rest of the way to Bunbury, which is actually not that much faster. You can see it's only 27 minutes faster than the all stops one, and overall it takes 2 hours and 48 minutes, while the train takes 2 hours 30, so it's only 18 minutes slower, so it's not that bad. It is unfortunate that it isn't much faster than the all stops, but that's probably because they do need 2 coaches to replace 1 train's worth of passengers probably, and most train passengers usually wouldn't be getting off at these first stations. They'd be getting off at the later ones, which is why both of them stop at these ones then and serve them. But obviously it's like 20 minutes apart that they serve them, while I don't know why, but no, I mean I do know why. Sorry, it's because obviously in afternoon the coach will be going into the peak hour traffic congestion on the Kwinana freeway as it goes to Kwinana. So it actually is going to take 1 hour from East Perth to Kwinana, which is ridiculous. I could beat that with the train so easily. So definitely worth it to go to Kwinana instead, 6:15 p.m. because of the traffic on the Kwinana freeway, and then obviously express to Waruna again and to Bunbury. But here the 2 will only be 7 minutes apart because of the peak hour traffic. So that's really stupid. The express serves like no purpose for 7-minute difference. And that trip takes 3 hours and 8 minutes for the full journey, which is a little worse, definitely, but oh well, deal with it, I guess. Anyway, and it's the same thing on the way back. They're numbered AA2, AA4. It's just, the number is just chronologically throughout the day, like, sort of. Yeah, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know where one is, but okay. And similar thing, obviously, but in this direction, since they leave Bunbury at the same time, they're actually following each other for all these stops. So they're literally arriving and departing at the same time, just behind each other, which is going to be so confusing for passengers. Two coaches until they get to Waruna and then split up, and the same thing. Then the express gets 8 a.m. to Kwinana and then 9 a.m. to East Perth. Again, peak hour traffic, so it takes an hour. While this one gets there at 9:15, so it's 15 minutes faster in the express. And it's actually the same in the afternoon, 15 minutes faster in the express. Again, 1 hour, so in that direction it's always 1 hour. It's just this one that it's not 40. Did it? Yeah, 40 minutes from East Perth to Kwinana. Sorry, yeah. While all the other times it's 1 hour. But yeah, just get off at Kwinana. Like, it's highly recommended. Just get off at Kwinana. You'll get to the city faster, I'm telling you. Unless there's a major line shutdown or something. But yeah, so that's it. That's the coach timetable, which you can see is perfect because Waruna is 3:52 in for both of the coaches, which is just over an hour, 1 hour 12 minutes after the bus arrives there, which is good. I can explore the town a bit because I've never actually gone out there, and then take that coach back, which I can choose which one actually, because if we go ahead here and book for Waruna, which I'm gonna have to do in a second. I haven't done it yet, but I really want to go on that bus, so I will. On the 21st, any day though, it doesn't really matter. Oh, and by the way, all these coaches are half price to the Australian because of the inconvenience that it causes being so much slower, which is so good. I love that. Now I can get to Bunbury for only $8, so cheap. See here, so it actually gives you, all that it gives you is the service number, AA2, AX2, and then like the arrival times. But some people just skim over that. They'll just see two options, look at the departure time. Oh, it's the same, 707, yeah, oh yeah, okay. Oh yeah, I can choose whichever one, whatever. And it's the same price. The Express is no more expensive. So like, they'll just click on whichever one, and they won't even notice. You can pick, but that's so weird. Like, the two rock up at the same time, then the two drivers get out, and then they check their list, and they say, oh yeah, even though you're going to Perth, you booked the All Stops, come here, get on the All Stops bus, you are not going on the Express bus, you're going to take the All Stops bus, or will they just be like, whatever, I don't know. But here, it looks like you can choose, so this is obviously the Express, 15 minutes faster. I can book that. Or I can book the All Stops if I want the full Australian experience. But I actually think it's cooler to go on the freeway, to be honest. I don't know, whichever one I want. I haven't chosen yet. I'm not going to do it right now. And then obviously I can just press Student Smart Rider here, and you can see $5.70 because it's 50% off. It does take almost 2 hours though from Waruna, but it is pretty far away. But whatever, I want to be on the coach for 2 hours. That's so nice. That's so cool. So that's what I'm taking back then. Arriving back 5:45 or 6, whichever one I choose, if there's no traffic. But like, imagine if there's a big crash and there's lots of traffic, then the All Stops one might actually beat it, which would be so funny. And sadly, like, if they did a full Perth to Bunbury Express, it would actually be really fast, like faster than the train. But then I guess passengers would complain that the train is actually slower and they just want coaches instead. And also they probably need more capacity for those later stations instead of just the All Stops going there. So yeah, it's probably better like this, because like the way it works now, the All Stops basically serves the first half of the stations, while the Express serves the second half. And the only reason the All Stops stops at the second half is in case anyone wants to go from the first half of the stations to the second half. Otherwise, they should realistically be getting onto the Express one, although you can book whichever one you want. So it's pretty weird. Oh yeah, like this, for example, is a different time. But what if I said Bunbury Terminal to Waruna? Then it's literally the same bus at the same time. What does it tell me then? Does it also give me two options? Oh, yes, it does. Oh, wow. See, so there's no difference here. You don't even know which one you're booking unless you look here at the number, which not many people will. This is the Express. This is the All Stops. That's so weird. And then just choose which one you want to go on. It's exactly the same. Anyway, yeah, and look, $4. That's amazing. It's so cheap. It's so cheap with the 50% off. I love it. I'm never going to be driving down there again. This is amazingly cheap. Even though just a few days before I will be in Bunbury because of the last Austrian. Anyway, that's everything now, I guess. This is a really cool new service. Just the last thing to say is which bus is going to be operating it. I don't get this. There are no trans-regional services currently operating anywhere near the Perth metro area. So since it is trans-regional, what's going to happen? Is a bus currently in Mandurah or Pinjarra depot going to be converted into trans-regional, like stickers on the outside, operated by trans-regional staff, which will what, drive up from Bunbury and then operate it there but store it in the depot? Or will it actually be Bunbury buses, which will be rebranded and coming up to here? Or will actually Bunbury buses just run the service and run the, because I showed you before, it's only 50 kilometers from Bunbury to Waroona and 40 from Mandurah. So it's not much different. So they could actually drive from Bunbury depot, especially since the service starts here. So otherwise it'll just have to run this down, then there, then back, then this back to Mandurah. Here you can just run straight up, then do the service, then go back down, then back to Bunbury. Although if you're doing that, you might as well just run the bus service all the way to Bunbury, and then, but then I guess Australian patronage will go down since it'll be so much of a cheaper option. So I guess that's not a good idea. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty weird. I don't know what's gonna happen. Or they'll build a new depot actually in Waroona and have like 2 buses there for just a spare one, and they'll brand them Trans Waroona, even though it doesn't stay within Waroona, but still, and there'll be a whole new thing. I don't know. So I don't know. Will the fares be integrated? Which buses will they use? I don't know. But I do know Bunbury currently has these ones still, the OC diesel buses, which used to operate in Perth, as you can see it from these old photos on perthbus.info, although now they operate down in Bunbury, as you can see, 845. They only have them in regional areas, no longer in Perth. So it'll be very unique if these ones actually come back up to operate this service, although I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe it won't even be a transport type bus, and it'll be more a smaller bus. But I don't think so, because most of the other trans-regional services are operated by a bus like this, so I don't know. And another thing, the route number, no one told us. What's the route number? Is it going to be an 8XX like other regional routes, or is it going to be more like a transport route? What would be fitting is like 601, 602, 603, or like 610 or something, because all like the 6XX routes are the ones from Mandurah to Pinjarra, and they're missing the one from 601 to 603. There's none of those, so they could make one of those if they wanted to. I don't know. It could be anything. I guess we'll find out soon, and we'll find out the exact route once maybe it's on the Transport app and more information is released. But we just found out about this today, and I think it's really cool. So yeah, that's it now. Yeah, actually, final thing, sorry this video is so long. Last thing, we have the new SmartRider processors now being released out onto the network. They already have them at Perth Station, East Perth Station, Claysbrook Station, and Warwick Station, and I think that's it at the moment. And then on a few buses, 3200, 3220, 3218, 3219, lots of 32 Binia buses, because they are trialing it. And yeah, you can see here 10 buses in the northern suburbs, new Add Value machines at Warwick and Joondalup. So it's got a big screen on it. It's very cool. I mean, I can get a photo. Yeah, so here we go. This is what they look like. That's the new processor. And then I don't think I'm recording audio, but it actually makes like a beep sound rather than beep, which is actually like the out of service sound at the moment, which is so confusing. But that's what they look like on the buses. Oh, sorry, I'm showing you that now. Yep. Yeah, so pretty weird. Yeah, so those are out, and they will be coming out over time. And you can do a survey to be in the running for a $200 value added to a SmartRider, or you could have signed up earlier if you use Northern Routes regularly to be a more in-depth survey member, which I did, but I wasn't accepted, although Pigeon Journey was, and he uses those routes less than me, even though I use them every day for school, and I don't understand why, but whatever. I've expressed my anger to him enough towards that, so I'm not going to talk about it much more. If you want to see more info on the SmartRider update project, please go to Transport website, and you can see all the FAQs here. Anyway, that is now the end of the video. I've been talking for like 40 minutes. I've made it way too long again. But let me just summarize what I was talking about. So I was talking about last Armadillo Line shutdown services, the weird event with express services from Joondalup and Mandurah lines, the new Trans-Regional Waruna bus service, and the Trans-WA coach replacements for Australind, and then the new SmartRider tag-on machines. SmartRider machines, which will be coming in to accept credit cards soon next year in the future. Yep, and that is it now. Thank you for watching. I know it's been a long one, but that is Transperth News. I hope you're well updated now on current events happening. Looking forward to the future. This month is going to bring us so many Transperth related events back to back. Next month as well, probably C-Series coming to operation, and then soon after that, the Yanchep extension opening and whatnot. Just lots of stuff happening, so very excited. Anyway, I just need to get through my exams now, next 2 weeks, and then after that, I'll be so free to film all this stuff and enjoy. And this is so great that right after the exams, I have all these things happening. It's a really great reward for the end of the year. Yes, bye. See you next time.